avid cook, and I enjoy preparing a special meal for Ginny and I when we're here at our home base. I wanted to take that along with me on the road in our home away from home. But cooking in an RV can certainly have its challenges. I'm going to be sharing with you some of my favorite recipes that I've adapted for RV travel. This is Road Tested. Hey, tonight I am going to prepare a special meal for Ginny and I, chicken Florentine with quinoa, brown rice, and garlic. You say, what? I don't have time for that on an RV. Well, I am going to show you the scratch version of this recipe and then my road-tested light version of this recipe to make it easy. This is a recipe for two, but can easily be doubled or tripled depending on the size of your family. We're going to get started with the spinach here. It's fresh. This is going to be all done in one pan for the entire meal. Let's get at it. Let's get started with the spinach. I'm going to be using pre-washed spinach. The recipe calls for 6 ounces. I'm going to be using 5 ounces today because that's what I can find while I'm out on the road at a typical grocery store. We're using fresh because we want to control the moisture content of the sauce. If we were to use frozen, the sauce would get a little soupy, and we don't want that. So we're going to heat a tablespoon of vegetable oil in a 12-inch skillet until it's shimmering. We're going to then add the spinach. And 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. That's looking pretty good. Now we're going to take this and put it in a colander and let it drain. While that's draining, we're going to wipe out our skillet so we could continue the cooking process and cook our chicken. For the chicken, I like to use these Perdue individually wrapped chicken breasts. They run about 5 ounces a piece when you can find them. We keep them frozen so that they're handy. They're the perfect serving size for Ginny and I. If you can't find these Perdue chicken breasts, then you can always find boneless, skinless chicken breast at the supermarket. You're going to need to get about an 8-ounce cut. And then what you want, 6 to 8 ounces breast. Then what you're going to want to do is take 2 sheets of plastic and pound that breast to about 1/2 inch. Or you can just lightly freeze those breasts and take a knife and slice it in half. You can take an 8-ounce, get a couple of 4s. Typically you're going to get a pretty large breast, so one may just do for you. We're going to take the chicken out of its packages, and then we want to pat them dry. Make sure we get that moisture out of there. And then we're going to salt and pepper them to taste. Let's heat the remaining tablespoon of vegetable oil until smoking to begin cooking the chicken. We're going to cook the chicken until it is a light golden brown. It's about 3 minutes per side with these 5-ounce breasts. We want to take them out. and tent them. Now let's get working on the sauce. We're going to add 1 small minced shallot and a clove of garlic that has been minced to our pan. Saute that for about 30 seconds. We're going to whisk in our broth. And our chicken broth, half a cup of each. We're going to cook this down to approximately 2/3 of a cup. It takes about 7 minutes. You're going to want to whisk it as you go. Now that you've cooked this down to a nice creamy consistency, or 2/3 of a cup, you're going to take it off the heat and add your lemon zest, about 1/4 teaspoon. And a teaspoon of lemon. Now is going to be a great time to start your quinoa, and this is another road-tested tidbit. We're using seeds of change, quinoa, and brown rice. It takes 90 seconds to prepare. You do that in the microwave. Let's get that started. We're also going to add 2 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese. Let's whisk that in. That's smelling good. Now let's add our drained spinach. You're going to find when you add the 5-ounce package of spinach that the sauce will be a little creamy, and the Florentine will be a little creamy, but that will work perfectly for the quinoa and brown rice to soak up. So now I've made the cream spinach from scratch. But we can cut corners on an RV just as easy, and that's where the road tested comes in. I purchased the Steam Fresh Chef's Favorites cream spinach that you can use in the recipe as well. Simply add this to, after you microwave, simply add it to the onion and garlic mixture that you'll saute up in the early stages of the recipe. It boosts it a little bit and gives it a little bit more flavor. Just add the microwave heated spinach to your onion and garlic mixture and heat it a bit, and it'll be ready to serve up over the chicken. Okay, now we are going to unwrap our chicken. Add the chicken to the plates. Pour any of the juices back into the sauce. Just makes it have a bit more flavor. Let's stir it up. We'll add a little extra Parmesan cheese. And there you have it. Chicken Florentine with quinoa and brown rice. Road-tested style. We better eat now. Thanks for watching Road-Tested Recipe today. I've created a link below so you can find the complete details of this recipe by just clicking on it. I'd also like you to stop by LoveToWanderRV.com for more recipes just like this. I've also included a link for some of the equipment I use, like this Thermapen, so you can easily find some of that as well. If you like what you see and what you've been seeing, then please subscribe to this channel and you'll see more of the same. Thanks for stopping by.